Hey guys, today we are going to make TwoSum easy to code. In this question, we are given an array of integers nums and an integer target, and we are requested to return the indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. We are also being told that we can assume that there is exactly one solution, and we are not allowed to use the same element twice. So let's look at the example we are given. In this example, target equals 9, and we can see that there are two elements in the array, 2 and 7, such that their sum adds up to target. So we are going to return their indices, which are 0 and 1. So how can we approach this question? The most intuitive way to solve this is to go over all of the combinations of two numbers from the array that we are given and check if the sum equals target. So we would begin with 2 in this example. We would check all of the other elements, and we would check the sum, and if the sum equals 26, we will return true. We can see that for the number 2, there are no combinations that involve 2 that adds up to our target. So we would move on to the next element. Now we will check 11, and we will check the numbers that come after it, and we can see that there is a number, 15, such that the sum equals to our target. And in this case, we will return their indices, which are 1 and 3. Notice how that we don't have to look to elements that come to our left. When we look at 11, we don't have to check 2 or any other elements that come before 11, because when we looked at 2, we already checked 2 and 11. So there is no reason to check 11 and 2. It's the same thing. How would the code look? The code look something like this. We would have an outer for loop, and we would go over all of the elements in the array, excluding the last one because we are looking for pairs, but this is of course not necessary, you don't have to do that. And then in the inner loop, we would go over all elements that come after the current element, and we will check the sum of the two elements that we are currently looking at, and if it equals to target, we are going to return the answer. Notice how there is no reason to add up any additional logic because we are guaranteed that there is exactly one solution, so we know that at least one time we are going to enter this if and return the desired answer. But how can we make this code better? The key thing to notice is that for each combination x and y, such that they satisfy the constraints, which is x plus y needs to equal target, there is a specific relation between x and y. Y is going to be equal to target minus x. And after noticing that, we understand that the question slightly changes. Now for each element x in the array, all we have to determine is, does y, which is exactly target minus x, also exist in the array? If yes, then we just want to return the indices of x and y. And if not, we know that there will not be any combination involving x such that x plus y is going to equal to target. So how could we do it? How could we know for each element does it exist in the array? Well, we could use a Hashmap or a dictionary in Python. So let's move on to the code.
Let's code a more efficient solution. So as we said, we are going to have a Python dictionary that will map each value in the array to its corresponding index. Now we are going to iterate over all of the elements in the array and map their value to their index. And then we are going to iterate the array once more. And now we have x, which is nums in index y. And we want to check if y, which is target minus x, is in the array. But this is not enough. because remember that we are not allowed to use the same element twice. So for example, if we look at this example, we have target equals 6 and we have the element 3. So in the first iteration over the array, we are going to add 3 and map it to index 0. And then when we go over the array once more, we are going to find that target minus x is also in the array, which is our y. But the problem is y and x are actually the same number and they are in the same index. So we are also going to check if I doesn't equal like this. So we want to make sure that x and y are not in the same index. And if that is the case, we are going to return the indices of the combination. So this code should work. Oops, sorry, small typo here. And as you can see, it does work, but there is actually a slightly more efficient solution. It's the same idea, so I'm not going to explain, but we could do this in one pass. So I'm just going to show you the code. In my opinion, it's actually more intuitive. So every time we are looking at the current value x, we are going to ask ourselves, did we already see target minus x? So it's going to look like this. And if we didn't see the desired element before, then we have to know we didn't return anything and we want to map the value to index. So this is actually much simpler in my opinion, and it's also slightly more efficient because we are only doing one pass over the array. This should work as well. And as you can see, it actually runs slower, but of course it's slightly faster, but it's just Leetcode doing Leetcode stuff. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you understand the question now. And please, if something is not clear, write to me in the comments below, and I will try to explain.